I know how painful all of this is. So when you asked me and Katie to keep quiet about Nora's pregnancy, I respected it. I don't know what your plan is there, but you asked, so I'm going with your flow.
But this?
She has a right to know what happened to her son and to her marriage, and not the watered-down Cliff Notes version you've been selling her.
Oh, she's a truth seeker.
I was going to say, we need a truth teller.
All right, that's award-winning actress Amirah Vann in the hit new medical series on Fox called Drama.
No,
Doc. Sorry.
It's a drama.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's so much drama, and there's going to be more drama right here. The show's big premiere was, well, Fox's biggest series in 5 years.
Absolutely. Doc's 4th episode airs tonight at 9 o'clock right here on Fox 5. On the show, she's Dr. Gina Walker, but here, she's Amirah Vann, because you're a real person live. First of all, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me. I love Good Day New York.
Well, we love having you here. You're a local girl. You grew up in Far Rockaway?
I sure did. I sure did.
You went to school here?
Yeah, I went to Fordham for undergrad at Lincoln Center, and I went to NYU for grad school. So, like, the streets of New York, it's like, I remember having the book bag on and going to all the auditions with, like, you know, your peers, and everybody's hustling and grinding. And so anytime I'm here, like, living the dream and doing what I love as a professional, it's really special.
So now you made it, and you're on the big show. You know, when you do a show like this, could you imagine that it would be the biggest debut on Fox in 5 years? Like, people took to it right away.
First of all, thank you to all the people watching, because that, that's what makes the show great. But when I read it, I knew it was special. You know, I mean, I've been, like, in the industry for a while now, and so you kind of can read a script immediately and know what's happening. And, like, Hank and Barbie, our producers and our creators, they're smart. They knew how to, like, something that's gripping. I just knew it was good, but I'm glad that the audience feels so as well.
I have to say, I love you in this show, and I loved you in How to Get Away with Murder as well.
Thank
so
you.
good in that show. And Doc, now you play a professional.
I know.
Did you have to research? What'd you do to kind of get into this character?
Well, listen, the amount of times I had to say, she had a traumatic brain injury, and retrograde amnesia. Retrograde amnesia is a big one.
Okay.
Try saying that 5 times. So that, you do the research in the beginning, and then kind of you let it go, and it's just like what's happening between the people, and that's the most important thing, right? That's what I think what makes it special. It's like all these people are coming into the hospital, and they're looking for a place of hope. They're looking for, and I think that's what's the heart of the show.
So obviously it's doing really well, and there's a lot of drama there, but we just did a research survey that said doctors are like one of the hottest professionals out there. So I'm just wondering, is there some hanky-panky gonna happen with you?
Listen, well, see, now I'm married, so I was about to say I hope so. No,
Your
honey.
character.
No, honey, I don't. I'm talking about the character. No, I mean, listen, all of it already is happening with the love triangle, like with Dr. Amy Larson, played by the amazing Molly Parker. And I think that's what's exciting, too, is that, I mean, I don't even know which team I'm rooting for in her love triangle, because, oh, man, they're both great men. I guess it would have to be her lover, because the husband has moved on. We have to respect that.
I was going to say, for people that don't know, it's about a doctor who got into an accident and can't remember 8 years of her life, and lots of things have happened.
Yeah.
And you're the friend who kind of keeps it real.
Yeah, I get to play a neuropsychiatrist, which is fantastic. So shout out to the amazing neuropsychiatrist and a woman of color neuropsychiatrist, which is even more of an honor for me, but also her best friend. And so it's like I'm her doctor as well. So it's like trying to figure out, with friends. And so it's just like, I need you as my friend right now, not as my doctor. So, I kind of ride that line very carefully. But I'm used to her sass. And I'm from New York, you know what I mean? I always bring that little sass to it anyway.
I was gonna say, she didn't say, I'm from New York. She said, I'm from New York. Let it out.
I drink coffee.
There you go.
We got a clip of you, Amirah, in her show, Doc.
So I'm obligated to put myself through this again? That's what you walked in here to say?
Yes.
You here as her psychiatrist or as her friend? Because it feels like you're wearing too many hats.
You can't leave her in the dark forever. And if you don't tell her, eventually, I'll have to.
Oh, threat. Meanwhile, you know how the series ends because it's all shot, right?
I do. You're not getting anything out of me, Rosanna.
Is there a cliffhanger here? Are you coming back for another season?
You know, there has to be. You got to make it juicy. So there's definitely going to be a cliffhanger. I was like at the table read, so which is good. You want that, you know. But hopefully we get a season 2. Fingers crossed. Everyone keep watching and tuning in because we would love to come back with even more drama.
We'd love to have you back with us. One personal question here.
Please.
You said I'm married now. Does that mean is this recent?
Oh,
Did you just have a baby?
Well, I did just have a baby. And I'll tell you this, I was pregnant the entire time I was filming.
How did you
Really?
do
I know.
that?
This is the first time I'm sharing that. So now, for our audience, we can see, like, who can see when I look pregnant.
So
Which
wait,
is funny.
did they shoot you just like Head and Shoulders?
Oh, listen, we had the iPad. You'll notice now. I want to see how many people can notice how many things that my character, Gina Walker, has in front of her. Popcorn, iPads. Eventually, I was behind the desk. Like, it was great. And then by the end of the season, you see my face go pop. That's good.
But meanwhile, the baby is how many months now?
6 months now.
Oh.
6 months. I gave birth a week after.
After you finished shooting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You worked right
Yeah.
up, and
know.
this was the second child,
My
right?
second child,
which
yeah.
could have meant that it could have come anytime.
Anytime. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She could have been a Toronto native, which would have been great because we love Toronto.
Man, well, thank you for coming in. When you go back for season 2, you shoot it, you come back here, we'll have you on again.
I love that.
Oh, you can take the subway. You're right here.
That's right.
Right here in the city.
That's right.
Make it easier on the train, whichever way you want to come in. Thank you so much, Amirah Vann.
Thank
All
you.
right. Okay, there's a new book, hot off the presses, hitting the shelves today. It's called Romances and Practicalities. It's a perfect blend of storytelling and questions to help you decide if you and your partner are compatible.
It has over 250 questions, from money to chores to children, to try and get to know your potential other half before you get married. And joining us is the author of the book. It's easy for me to say. I don't know what I'm going on this morning here. I got a head cold. Lindsay Jill Roth, thank you so much. I apologize for butchering that.
That's okay. Thank you so much for having me.
You know, one of the things that intrigues me is says the subtitle here for the book.
Yes.
Is that a love story, maybe yours, in 250 questions. And you put this down as someone who's been in a relationship for a long time. I still look at these questions and go, these are good questions.
They are.
I wish I
questions.
thought of some of these right away.
That's my job.
Yeah. What made you think about doing a book and doing it like this?
So I needed this book. I didn't write this book from a place of strength. I was the bridesmaid walking down everybody else's aisle, and I needed to find my love story, and I couldn't do it. And I needed to look toward myself. And I realized there were things that I had to do better. I had to communicate better. I had to understand myself better. And when I was going through it, this didn't exist. So I created it. It helped me, and it's helped countless other people.
I like the fact that it deals in practicalities, which are real. This is not, hey, do you like puppy dogs and sunshine?
No.
What's your favorite number? These are like, you know, about finances, about chores at the house, about real things that you're going to have to deal with.
Yes, but when you say real things, people say, oh God. So I just want people to know that the thesis of this book is that the sexiest type of romance is one that's based in practicality. So these are things that are sexy to talk about. These are questions that are fun to talk about. They're intimate. And really great things happen when you connect with a person you care about and you talk to them about real things.
I love some of the questions, and I'm just going to go through it.
Great.
Who comes first, your spouse or your children?
Good question, right?
Yeah. I mean, because you can definitely see that in relationships that, you know, as long as you're all on the same page, it's all fine.
But these are things that you should think about before you ask them to someone else as well. Because I think if you have a point of view, you don't have to have the same answer as your partner, but you have to be comfortable talking about it. And people always say, so what if I'm in a relationship for 10 years already? Does this book apply to me? Of course it does. If you're at the beginning of your relationship, I always say it's easy to revisit something if you've talked about it before. So talk about it early, talk about it often, and set yourself up for a life of communication.
All right, so I have to say, last night I was Googling you.
Oh, boy.
And the first thing that came up was...
I have no idea what you're going to say.
Okay. The first thing that came up is your relationship with Meghan Markle.
Yes.
You both went to school together. She was your bridesmaid?
She's my maid of honor in my wedding.
She was your maid of honor?
Yeah.
So when she got married the second time around, did you sit down and like go over questions with her and kind of help her, you know, with being compatible to Prince Harry?
So
look how cute you two are and are.
that was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
So I have sat down and gone through these questions with countless amounts of people, celebrities, non-celebrities, broadcasters, people like everyday people of all ages and all relationship status. And these questions can apply to you whether you're famous or not.
Are these questions for first dates, or are these questions for after you're already kind of in a relationship and ready to take it to the next level?
So this is a system, right? So the book is my transatlantic love story meets this system that I created that's been validated by a ton of subject matter experts. And there are on-ramps in this book for anywhere that you are in a relationship. So if you're just meeting someone, ask them about pets, ask them about their relationship with animals. You'll learn if they're a good carer. You'll learn if they like their dog in the bed. You'll learn if they have any bad experiences.
Do you let your dog sleep in the bed with you?
No.
Okay.
But at the foot of the bed, they have their own beds right beside
But
us.
that's a discussion that
Yes.
people need to have,
Right.
right? Then if you're further in, there are more serious questions that you can get to. But these are fun things to discuss.
I noticed that you talked to a lot of people.
I did.
Not just people in the business, but celebrities. How did you go about doing your research on this?
So I thought the best way to tell this story was to tell my story, other people's stories, and people who are notable stories, right? So I've worked in media for a long time, so I asked people that I knew if they would be interested in this, and then I went wide, and I asked lots of people to take part. And it's funny, I would interview people for their experiences, and they would thank me for having a therapy session with them, because it's really cathartic, and it's very fun.
I think it works. You know, on our first date, my wife asked me, do you want to have children?
I love that.
That was a great first question.
Did you want
And?
to run?
No, not at all. I said, no, I don't hate children, but it's not for me. And she said, whew, thank goodness, because I don't either. And we were on the same page right away.
It's so-
but even if we weren't,
That's
I
a
think
tough-
it's important to discuss
That's a
it.
tough question for the first date, though.
Hey,
I respect
you know my
her
wife.
for going there.
I know.
She's a tough
Yes,
broad.
She is. She is.
But I like that you got it out early, because if it's something that was important to her, she wasn't hiding that. And I think in the past, dating rules had you hide more of yourself and figure things out, and that's not 2025. 2025 is, this is who I am, this is what I'm looking for reasonably, and I want to share that with you, and I want to see if we're compatible and we can grow together. And this is going to help you do that.
I think it's a great book out
do
there.
too.
Lindsay Jill Roth. It's out right now. Romances and Practicalities.
Just in time for Valentine's Day, right?
There you
Just
go.
in time.
Right in front of the Valentine's Day tree.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming in. We
All
appreciate
right.
it.
Well,